So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a key component of my trading strategy. This is going to absolutely blow your mind. When you see what I'm going to be showing you in the charts today, you're going to be thinking this is gold. We're going to be digging into one key thing that I like to see in order to be very aggressive in a certain direction. It's going to take a lot of confidence to be able to trade like this. You're going to need to back test this as much as possible. Then after you're done back testing it, I want you guys to go ahead and forward test this on live data. I'm not saying a live account. I'm just saying go ahead and test this out on live data. Before we get into the video though, guys, I need 100 likes in this video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a whole week of trading on GBP USD using this one key concept that I love to see when it comes to trading. Let's go to the weekly time frame, because this is going to be of some importance to you guys for now. You can see here that there's a little gap in here. Some might call it a volume imbalance, some might just call it a gap. So if I just zoom in now, you can see this little gap here where price closed here, then opened up here. That means in this area here, there's a gap here. And some of you might say, oh, but the gap is filled. But it was only filled with the wicks. That's what makes it a volume imbalance. But anyway, guys, you can call it gap. You can call it a volume imbalance, VI, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. The most important thing is that I've marked up where I want within this gap for price to get to. What I'm giving you guys right now is just my POI, just my point of interest. You're going to see why it makes sense in a minute. So I've marked up 50% of that gap. Cool. And just one way to do that, what you can do is here, you drop your fib tool from where this candlestick closed and you drop it to where this one opened. And then what you do is you get a line from up here, go to the tool section, go to horizontal ray. You'll get this little line here and just pull it where 50% is. So now we're going to go to our current data. We're going to go to the 50-minute time frame. Zoom on out. This is a whole week of price action on GBP USD. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you guys this one key concept. There's one thing that you need to see to be able to capitalize on trades. And I'm going to do it using my current data, what I traded on GBP USD today. So let's go ahead and put on my execution so you guys can see it. You're going to see wins and you're going to see losses because that's just the way the game goes. Execution's on. And let's go. So now look, this is a whole week's worth of trading on GBP USD. I didn't have much time on the charts this week, but I still managed to get something done. What I wanted to do is I wanted to trade at least once every day for this video. So here is Monday's price action. If I'm bullish on a pair, what do I want to see? I want to see price drop into sell candles or a sell play. It's not just a sell candle it needs to drop into. It needs to drop into a whole sell play before going long. So for example, this is a sell play or a set of sell candles. And one of the things that are very important about this is that it needs to run some kind of liquidity. So you can see we've got liquidity taken from the Asia session. We've got liquidity taken, some form of liquidity taken from the previous day. We've run that liquidity to the downside and then we've expanded to the upside. So this here is all I need to know that I need to be bullish. This is what I need to see here, this whole drop down from the top to the bottom. And you know, when it comes to my TTTM style, if I'm going to be on the charts at a time, I'm looking to jump in from nearabouts these lows. But what you can do is you can also get active when price is dropping into sell candles. So for example, we move higher above the sell action. With this wick here, we come back into the candle. And I'm on a 50-minute time frame. I will show you this on a 1-minute time frame too. We come back into the sell candle, this whole drop. This is when you're looking to get active. We also had a fair value gap in here as well, which obviously provided more confluence to this trade. But the key thing here was that we're dropping back into sell candles. And so this is where I got active. You can see the little arrow here. If I just zoom in a little bit more, you can see here, if I just hover over this arrow, you can see that I got active right here. And then one thing about what I've been doing recently anyway, is I've been going for 1 to 5 hour trades, because all you literally need is a 1 to 5 hour trade. I can catch higher hour trades, but if you can base your trading style on a 1 to 5 hour strategy, you're going to be able to compound and really grow that account. So look at this, guys. We jump in here. And what I was aiming for, what I wanted was this line here. This is that 50% line. I was aiming for that to take partials and let my runner run. But as you guys can see, when I jumped in, it came close by literally like 1 pip or 1.2 pips. And then it came back to stop me out in profit. So what I had done, I had moved my stop loss into profit beneath this low. And this is where it took me out. We can see Monday, the strategy works. When price dropped into a sell candle, I got active. I took it to nearabouts my TP point. It just missed it by 1.2 pips. Okay, it is what it is. I would have had a 4 or 5 pip stop loss, and I was aiming for this high. This would have been roughly just under a 1 to 10 hour trade, but it ended up being a 1 to 5 hour trade. So look, it's still a good trade. It's still blessed. I wouldn't say I was very happy with the trade. I would have been more happier if it would hit my actual area where I wanted it to get to, which is 50% of that gap or the volume imbalance. But it is what it is. 1 to 5 hour trade is still blessed. And look, I managed my trade very well, guys. I managed it very well. I'm not waiting for price to come and take me out all the way down here. When price gets very close to my TP target, I can go ahead and move my stop loss. And then just to show you this on the 1 minute time frame now, this is it on the 1 minute time frame. So this is when it dropped. I jumped in here. I'm on a 1 minute time frame. It dropped as low as 2 pips in drawdown, then it started moving up in my direction. This was all within 1 minute. So I'm not spending long in drawdown, because when price drops into these sell candles, you want to see movement. You want to see prices move from here. I used to spend a lot of time in drawdown. I used to spend the whole night in drawdown, sometimes the whole day in drawdown. Not anymore. I trade very smart, and I like to pick the areas while I would spend minimal time in drawdown. So looking at 2 pips, and then boom, it gets to my area of interest or close to my area of interest. It does not quite reach there. I was holding on. Maybe I should have moved my stop loss a bit higher, is what it is. I was thinking, should I move up here? But I said, you know what? I'm a stick to a higher time frame point of interest and move my stop loss beneath that level. And that's when it got tagged. So that was Monday's trading. Let's move on to Tuesday. So now we are on Tuesday's trading, and I'm going to be keeping that same philosophy, that same mindset, that same trading style. When price drops into sell candles, I want to be getting active with buys because I am bullish. Keeping that same narrative, that same mindset. Tuesday, we have that drop to run out some kind of liquidity. You guys know about the TTTM style of trading. TTTM style of trading is all about catching it from these lows and then taking it to your TP point. We get the drop, but here's our sell candle. Because I'm bullish, what do? When DU drops down into the sell play to run out liquidity, that's where I want to get active. So I'm going to go straight to the 1 minute time frame for this one, so you can see what happened here. You can see 2 attempts here. So I'm going to go to the 1 minute time frame to explain this to you. My very first trade, when price dropped into the sell candle, this whole sell play here, this was the sell play. This is where I was looking to get active again. So you can see now, let me just zoom all the way in. So you can see here, this was where I jumped in, roughly about 65.5. It says here 1.33655, 1.33655. I got stopped out where? At 1.33615. So that was a 4 pip stop loss, 4 pip stop loss. And look at this. How long did it take for me to get stopped out? I got stopped out in 2 minutes. And once again, I'm not spending long in drawdown. I don't want to build my trading style based off being in drawdown for too long. That can mess up your trading psychology. Start moving your stop loss and start thinking drawdown is good. Drawdown is not good, okay? Just so you guys know. So I get stopped out within 2 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes. I jump in again. Why? Because it's still within my point of interest, that sell candle. I jump in again right here. You can see I jump in roughly about 62.5. You can see it says here 62.5, 1.33625. I have a 4 pip stop loss for this one. Price comes as low as 1.33587. So I'm still in the trade. That's not 4 pips. And then my aim then is to go for the high it just came from. This is where I take TP at the high. The moment it trades up here, you're looking to close your trade, and then it might dip a little bit. So it dipped by maybe a few pipettes or so, maybe 1 or 2 pipettes. This is a beautiful trade again on Tuesday. Right here, this is my stop loss. You can see we did not get tagged out. My aim was to run these highs. You can see in here, this is roughly about at 1 to 5 hour trade again. You can see this is where we took TP right here. It didn't take me long. It was in this trade from 12 midday, and we closed the trade at 1:22. So roughly about an hour and 22 minutes. And then this one here was about, we jumped in here at 2:46 and then we closed the trade at 5:21, roughly about 2.5 hours. When it comes to Wednesday, I do get to the charts pretty late for me. I ended up making 2 losses on GU because I was trying to buy to take it to these highs. So those were 2 losses. And there's nothing wrong. You're going to lose sometimes. It is what it is. So if I zoom in now, I'll just show you where I was trying to get to. So look at this, guys. We jump in right here. We get stopped out. I was using the fair value gap. It didn't hold up. Got stopped out. It is what it is. That's not going to phase me in my trading. That's only a 1% loss. Any loss you see here is 1%. Just 1%, guys. But we're making 1 to 5 hour trades. We made 2 1 to 5 so far. We had a -1. So altogether, we're up 9%. This loss here was a 1% loss. It is what it is. Now we're down to 8%. Then I make another loss here because I'm still trying to buy to the upside. This one, I'm kind of anticipating that we're going to be running up to the upside. I'm anticipating that this is going to be a sell candle to run liquidity. But sometimes when you anticipate, you're going to get it wrong. It is what it is. I try to jump in again and I get stopped out. So now that would bring us to a 7% increase for this week, 7% return. Don't forget, we're still utilizing the sell candle. I still tried to utilize it, but I did it in a wrong way. I tried to be a bit eager. So let's go to Thursday. On Thursday trading, you can see a few things. So what am I looking at here? You can see once again, I've jumped in here with a buy and I've taken partials when price got to this high. And then the rest of the trade got taken out here. So let's go ahead and break this down. So what I'm doing here is I'm buying towards this up close candle, this whole upward play here, just in case it's going to turn around on me. So this is why I'm taking partials just in case and let the rest ride. Now let's break down what we saw and how I got into this trade. So what do I see going on right here? So when I'm looking at the charts, I'm looking for an entry because I'm still bullish at the moment. So what am I looking at? I'm looking for some kind of sell play that I can utilize again, just like I've done Monday and Tuesday and have been very successful doing so. So I see that price has made a run down to the downside. We've taken out some liquidity. This works on the 1 minute time frame. This is why I said back test on multiple time frames, because you're going to get so confident that you can actually use it on these time frames too. I can see that price runs lower from this high. It runs lower and takes out liquidity. Then it rallies higher. What's my goal? My goal is to get active. If price comes back down, then I'm going to get active. If it does not come back down, I've missed the trade. So we come back down now into the sell play. This whole sell play, it began from here and then it dropped to run out all this liquidity. So that means when price drops into these sell candles, I'm looking to get active again. And just before we move on, I said this is going to take a lot of confidence, because initially we were conditioned to sell when price is dropping. So if I see price dropping, I'm going to be getting in with sells. If I see price rising, I'm going to be getting in with buys. That was the old mindset. That was the initial mindset when it comes to trading. Me personally, that did not work for me. But when price is dropping, you're going to feel like sometimes this is so dangerous to catch. It's dropping. Should I really get in? But look, when you're seeing price drop into sell candles and you're bullish, that's an opportunity for you to buy. So this was my opportunity to buy. I caught this one a little bit late. I don't know what I was doing at the time, but I caught it a little bit late. You can see I jumped in from here. Pretty high. I should be jumping in a lot lower. I could have jumped in from a lot lower if I was paying attention. I've roughly had about a 5 pip stop loss for this one. I entered here at 1.33491 and price came as low as 1.33456. I'm still in the game, And then I targeted, like I showed you guys, I targeted that area of interest, which was the upward candle play. And I seen on other time frames that there was inefficiency here. What I'm going to do just to help you with the visuals on this, I'm going to go ahead and mark up this level here, the very open of this upward play. And now I'm going to go back to the 1 minute time frame. Now I'm back to the 1 minute time frame. So now you can see where I entered, I then looked to take TP right here. Literally price tapped into this when I noticed it was here. I took TP. I took over 80% of that trade. So if you're wondering how many pips it was, so it was roughly about just this move, that's 20 pips. And then to get down to this level was 23 pips. So the 20% of the trade rallied up to 23 pips. How long am I spending in drawdown? I spent 5 minutes in drawdown, guys. Once again, not long. 5 minutes in drawdown is pretty long for me, but just in general, it's not long. So let's go ahead and double check the R on this now. So my entry was from here. You can see here, it says 1.33491. And we came to roughly, the low of this candlestick comes in at 1.33456. So once again, not tagged out. I only spent 5 minutes in drawdown here before price started moving in my favor. Now, when it comes to the R, this is where I took my initial TP. Although it went up to this high, that was only 80% of the trade. Just to get to this level here, if I closed off the whole thing, this would have been just under a 1 to 5 R trade if I had closed off the whole thing. So this one just ended up being just under a 5 R trade. Once again, still brilliant. So this was a beautiful trade again. From 4 days of trading, we're now up roughly about 12%. Let's move on to the final day, Friday. So we are now on Friday's trading. I got active pretty late again. I'm normally active within these London sessions. I got active pretty late again. But what did we want to see? So I'm in a 50-minute time frame right now, but I'm going to go up the time frame. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. And I'm seeing this sell candle right here that runs out liquidity. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to get active the moment price drops in. Price didn't just start dropping from here. It started dropping from this high. So my sell play would be from the very highest point and take it to the lowest point. And let's go ahead and put on an arrow here. So you can see this arrow here. When price drops into the sell candle, the sell play, I'm looking to get active. And let's go ahead and dissect what happened here. So I'm on a 1 minute time frame. I'm following the same style of trading. I've got my small stop loss because once again, at these areas, I'm expecting quick movement. So now I'm on a 1 minute time frame, guys. And this is where I jump in. I jump in right at that same line. I just drew up that line. I jump in right here. I spend no time in drawdown because this style of trading is minimal time in drawdown. Trading smart, but winning big. Minimal time in drawdown, and I'm looking for price to run up to the upside. So what am I looking at? I want to take TP when price runs this high. So with this trade here, I had roughly about a 5 pip stop loss. Took a long position from this low right here. If I can see the setup forming, I was going to take a trade. I had roughly about a 5 pip stop loss. And I was aiming for this high. So this would have been a 1 to 6 hour trade if we had gotten to this level here. We hit this fair value gap and then we started reversing. Price came shy roughly about 5 pips to get to my TP level where I was going to take partials and let the rest ride. But it is what it is. I'm utilizing the same style of trading. We're dropping to sell candles again because I'm bullish. When it's dropping, I'm buying. It failed up here. And so I moved my stop loss into profit. I'm like, you know what? You're not going to come and tag me out. When I see something failing like this, we don't want to push beyond this and keep going, I'm going to move my stop loss. Why? Because I'm going to trade well. I'm going to manage my trade well. I'm going to trade smart. I move my stop loss above my entry, so it's into profit, so I can't lose anything on this trade. And then price came down, hit my stop profit, so I didn't lose the trade. I came out break even. So we had altogether 4 wins on GBPUSD, 3 losses and 1 break even. Altogether, that amounts to 12% increase. It just goes to show that you don't have to win all the time to get it right. We had 4 wins and 3 losses and we did amazing. Just bear that in mind, guys. I really want you to bear that in mind. You don't have to have the greatest strategy in the world. You don't have to have the greatest win rate in the world to become successful at trading. You just need to have a high return strategy and have a decent win rate. I do a weekly team call with all my mentees every single week. On the team calls, I go in and I chop up all the charts that I'm going to be looking at for the week, and I share all the insights and all the intricate details in what the chart is doing and where I expect it to go. My mentees are using the same strategy and doing absolute bits. If you want to get access to those team calls, the link will be in my description. If you want further information, go ahead and message me on Instagram, MHU_FX.